What's going on, MSFers? Zulum here, back here with another video. And today, we're going to be talking about Dark Dimension 8. Since it comes out today, I have officially finalized all of my picks for Dark Dimension 8. So we're going to start off with non-legendary city hero. It's full Spider-Verse, gents. I've seen people taking Ghost Spider out and putting in Robbie Reyes. You can do that. I don't really care, honestly. I just put in Ghost Spider because I really like this team, and I think this team is going to be an absolute nuisance on defense in Cosmic Crucible and in War and a couple different places for a while. So I did take Ghost. Once again, you could absolutely take Robbie up. The ISOs that I ended up doing were Raider, Striker, Skirmisher, and Striker. If you do take up Robbie, I would do Raider because we're using him as a Raider way more than a Striker lately, since he's usually going into Spider Society teams on War or Cosmic Crucible, and him being a Striker is completely useless in those fights. Next up, we have non-legendary city villain, and this is the one that people were like, oh my god, this section is going to be terrible. It's going to be so hard. I think this is going to be an absolute cakewalk. I've got Lizard as a protector. Obviously, he's a big protector. He's great in Cosmic Crucible, great in War, good uses. We have Slayer is going to be big damage with his special. It's unavoidable. His ult is a pretty good delete button as well. I don't know how much it's going to delete in Dark Dimension, but it's still going to be pretty good. Red Goblin is going to be probably the best member of the Symbiote team, the Hive Mind team. Damage-wise, he does a lot. So I'm bringing him in because the other choice was going to be Mysterio, and I really don't care to have Mysterio in there because Mysterio is just kind of situationally good for his kit, not really the stats. So I think Red Goblin's going to benefit from the stats more, so I'm going to have him in there. Craven, absolutely disgusting, incredible Cosmic Crucible character, incredible War character. I already have him at G19 at 3 diamonds, so I was like, why not purple ISO him? I'm going to use him a lot. He's going to be purple ISO as well. And then Vulture is there because he is pretty much the only other city villain character that's really worth a damn. We're not getting a rework for Morbius because we voted on Moon Knight. And then Venom's terrible. Carnage, not worth it. That's pretty much it. The rest are kind of minions or minion adjacent like Swarm and Scream. So that's not happening. And the choices that I went for ISOs for this are going to be Lizard is a Raider. We have Spider Slayer as a Striker. Red Goblin is also going to be a Raider. Craven is a Raider. And we have Vulture as a Raider as well. I'm not trying to maximize ISOs here for Dark Dimension to make it easier, because I know a lot of people were running Vulture as a healer for Dark Dimension to make him heal a bunch when he takes a bunch of turns. I don't care, because it's Dark Dimension. It's going to be hard no matter what. Those little ISO changes are not worth it, especially when you're so scarce on purple ISO right now. As for non-legendary global hero, my choices are going to be the 3-piece Illuminati, because they are a disgusting team in War and Cosmic Crucible. You're sensing a trend, aren't you? Black Knight, because he's really good in a lot of places. War, Crucible, Arena, if you're still at that point. And then Nightcrawler is going to be awesome plug and play, even when Extreme dies. So Nightcrawler is going to be really, really, really good. I feel like these are going to be the best 5 for you. If you don't have Captain Britain, other options could be not many, to be completely honest with you. There's really not any other good options. Maybe Quicksilver if you really like him, but he's really starting to fall off. Hawkeye is terrible. Elsa, nah. She's not getting a rework, I don't think. I don't think she was data mined. I think it was like Agatha and Moon Knight. Hulk, no. Cyclops, no. There's really no one else good to pick unless you pick like an Alpha Flight member. Or maybe if you're super into War, you pick Starbrand because he's a War character for Out of Time. I mean, I'm really grasping at straws here. Maybe Gambit too. You could absolutely do Gambit. He's going to be good for a long while as well. So Gambit's another pretty good choice, but I still think Nightcrawler is just going to be better than him. But if you don't have Captain Britain, Gambit's also a good choice, honestly. And the rest are kind of just mediocre at best. I think the 3-piece Illuminati are going to do just fine. I don't think they're going to do great, but I'm going to get uses out of them outside of Cosmic Crucible, or outside of Dark Dimension, and I'm not going to build subpar characters that are only good in Dark Dimension. That's stupid. That's why you won't see Vol on my list for DD7 or DD8. There's no reason for it. Next up, we have non-legendary global, and this one's gonna tickle people. Wait, I gotta do the ISO for this one. So ISO for this one, we have Striker Hank, Striker on Captain Britain. If you're gonna do Gambit, do Raider. I have Raider on Shuri, I have Fortifier on Black Knight, and I have Raider on Nightcrawler. That's gonna be the optimal ISOs in my opinion. Next up for non-legendary global villain, these are a mouthful. We have Cabal with Lady Deathstrike and Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a no-brainer. He's a mythic character. He's disgusting. That's a no-brainer. I'm bringing Cabal because Cabal is great for me in Cosmic Crucible. Once again, I'm building for longevity and for Cosmic Crucible and potentially War uses outside. If you do not care for that and you want the most optimal team, go APOC and then do the 4-piece Orcus and drop Scientist Supreme. You're welcome. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to have Sentinel. I'm not going to have Nimrod probably for a while. Nor do I care to build Orcus to G19 or Purple ISO if they're not going to need it for the raids. And it seems like they're not going to need it for the raids. So I'd rather build a team that's actually going to do things outside of just raids. So Lady Deathstrike's going to be in there because she's an incredible damage dealer. And I needed an extra global villain. Cabal, still great. Let's see what other global villains we've got. Graviton, another 10 out of 10 choice. No. Maybe Doom, if you're feeling real spicy. Doom is a potential option over Lady Deathstrike. Honestly, I'd rather go with the new stats. Emma, absolutely not. Mr. Sinister, haha. Agatha, but she was data mined to get a rework, but she's going to be on a raid team in the Night Stalkers. So, like, do you really need a raid character that big? No. But if she turns out to be awesome, you could take her if she's awesome outside of raids and their team is really good outside of raids. Maybe. Moonstone, Absorbing Man, no. Maybe Dakin. Dakin's not a terrible choice either because of his uses in War and Crucible right now. He's great with the M4M team, taking out those Sus Annihilators teams or taking out Extreme in Room 4. So that's an option as well. If you're super, super into War, maybe Ares for you. But nah, I don't know, man. I'm going to stick with Cabal. I think it's going to be an absolute terrible time trying to use Cabal in Dark Dimension 8. But I don't really care. I'm not going for a speed run. I'm going for what's going to serve me the best long-term outside of Dark Dimension. And then last up for Legendary or Cosmic, I have... Oh, wait, we got to do ISOs. So Iron Patriot is a Raider. Lady Deathstrike is a Striker. Leader is a Striker. Namor is a Striker. And then we have Apocalypse as a Striker as well. As for Legendary or Cosmic, Mephisto, duh. Super Skrull, duh. Old Man Logan, also duh. And then I'm just going to bring in the two newest characters added to this section, which are going to be Constipated Humpty Dumpty, Thanos Endgame, and Gladiator. I don't think Gore is absolutely useful here at all. I've noticed I don't even use Gore in Arena. I use Ultimus and APOC instead of him. Super Skrull's still good. Still not worth your diamonds. Check out that video if you're wondering what I'm talking about. I honestly think this section is going to be brutal, and without taking Super Skrull or Mephisto, it's going to suck. I also have Mephisto, Super Skrull, and Old Man Logan already done because I built them out of order because of how great they are. These are no-brainers in my opinion. For Legendary or Cosmic, there's really no one else you want to bring. Maybe Dormammu. On the timed run, you can bring in Odin instead of... Who cares, honestly? It's the timed run at that point. And then Silver Surfer, absolutely not. Cersei, no. Icarus, no. Kang, maybe. I did put ISO 1 on Kang because I'm stupid, but I don't think he's worth it. Anybody else is kind of just subpar, honestly. I think this is going to be your best team. As for ISOs, I put Striker on Striker on Mephisto, Fortifier on Gladiator, Striker on Super Skrull. I'm probably going to end up putting Raider on Thanos Endgame because he's a Raider most of the time outside of his team. And then I'm going to keep Striker on Old Man Logan. Again, I don't think it's worth it to maximize ISOs for this, especially when ISOs are the main gate. I don't think it's worth it at all. There's no reason to do it. But that's going to be my picks for Dark Dimension 8. There's really no other picks to go with other than this. Maybe if you want to swap out Red Goblin for a Mysterio, you want to swap out a Noir or a Ghost for Robbie Reyes. Honestly, don't even look at these numbers up here because these don't mean anything, because you could choose which orbs you want to open to get more of whichever class you're taking the most of. So these orbs literally, or this number doesn't matter as much as it used to for Dark Dimension in the past, when gear was the biggest crunch and taking the optimal number was important and you had to spread it out by class. This does not matter at all. It literally does not matter. So that's going to be my picks here. I am planning on going into Dark Dimension Day 1 and putting up a video of that as well. So that's going to be exciting, exhilarating, so we can see how my Spider Society team does. But that's going to be it for this one. Until next time, MSFers, this has been Dolem. Later.